Wait a minute. I think this Noah's Ark connection just got deeper. So I did a video earlier on how the ark is actually a typology for Jesus. We learned that these two words pitch here don't mean the same thing, similar, but it references, of course, the tar that was used to seal the crackaroonies, but also about Jesus dying on the cross for our sins and, paying the price. But let's go deeper. So the first word used as pitch means to cover, but you see especially with bitumen. So this is a petroleum product. It's tar. And it's interesting because the second option we know expiate has to do with our sins, right? But to condone, to placate or cancel. Just a refresher, to condone is to accept and allow behavior that is considered morally wrong or offensive to continue. To placate is to make someone less angry or hostile. And to cancel, to decide against participating in a planned event or to make something invalid or ineffective. You see here bitumen, a viscose constituent of petroleum, and petroleum also known as crude oil or simply oil. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, dinosaurs, right? Isn't that where oil comes from? I look it up and it says that's a myth. It's not true. But keeping with that same theme, the real origin of petroleum or crude oil claims to be from remnants of small aquatic plants and animals such as algae and zooplankton. Forget about the bazillions of years. We're talking biblical stuff here, so we're going to go with reality. So what they're saying is that the stuff was the organic remains of things got mixed in layers of silt. So, anything that was laying at the bottom of the ocean, the entire world flooded. Everything was covered in water, right? Except for Noah and his family up on the ark. Now, here's my thought. Pre-flood, God created Adam from the dust, and he said, I've created you from the dust, and you will return to the dust. And everything pre-flood went to the dust. Now, when the flood happened, the world was flooded, and everything landed at the bottom of the ocean and became silt. Think about layers. Think about dinosaurs. Think about Nephilim. Think about crude oil now. If the Nephilim and all the evil sons of bitches that lived on this earth before the flood became what would later be crude oil, obviously, yes, there was some crude oil before that. But if they basically became the substance that Noah was using to paint on the pitch, you see here, and he is the propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the sins of the whole world. I'm sure that there is something there. Why would they? And I really feel like this is actually true. Everything have turned into tar, crude oil. Wait, it gets deeper. So the Bible actually uses the word slime pits in some instances, or slime, in reference to the bitumen. And this part right here, I was like, wait, that's interesting. So it says, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there into the slime pits. So some Nephilim were fallen into slime pits, becoming part of, this, like the sin that we've all now been covered in. They go back to that. I don't know. There's something there. Even Moses' mother painted Moses' ark, his basket. She dabbed it with slime, which is tar, asphalt, and with pitch. But that word pitch is not the same as the word used for Noah's Ark, which is interesting. The word for slime is chamar, which is bitumen, and the word used for pitch is zephith, which is not the same as the words used in the building of the ark. And this references asphalt. I still think it's kind of interesting that the ark was pitched in tar, as was Moses' basket. Just saying. So there's something there. There's something I feel like it's true, speculation of course, that all of the fallen ones, the ones who were experienced God's wrath, then went into, obviously, laying at the bottom of the water, and turned basically into oil. Like maybe some dinosaurs, some of them made it on the ark, but like the Nephilim and all the evildoers and the half-breed animals and all that became the substance bitumen. Interesting. What do you think?